This is the Ego Power Plus electric riding lawnmower, 42-inch deck cordless tractor, the one that runs on the same 56V batteries as the handheld Ego tools. My first impression wasn't the styling or the screen. It was the quiet. I pressed the blade button, heard a soft whir, and the grass started disappearing. No fumes, no choke, no idle surge. Just push and go. Key features that stood out to me after real mowing hours. The 42-inch stamped steel deck with 2 direct drive brushless motors. The 6 included 56V 6.0 amp-hour batteries that work together using peak power to pull serious amps without sagging. And a digital display where I can pick 3 blade speeds, 3 drive speeds, and set cruise control. There are bright LED headlights for late cuts, a USB port that actually charges my phone fast, Bluetooth for updates and data, a steel front bumper, and a tow hitch that handled my yard cart without drama. Ego says it's the equivalent of about 21 horsepower with up to 20,000 watts on tap. From my seat, the torque feels instant and confident in thick grass. From my experience, cut quality is legit. On normal weekly mowing, I keep blade speed in the middle setting, and it leaves an even, clean pass with good lift. When I let the back corner go wild and it turned knee-high, I bumped blade speed to high, and it just powered through without bogging. That's where the direct drive motors shine. There's no belt to slip or squeal, no governor delay, just instant power to maintain blade tip speed. It's the same story when I hit a patch of wet grass after a sprinkler cycle. The mower stays composed and keeps the line. Drive feel is different from a gas tractor. The accelerator pedal controls speed electronically, and when I lift my foot, regenerative braking kicks in. That means the tractor slows itself by turning the motors into generators, which is efficient, but it can feel grabby until you get used to it. The physical brake pedal comes in near the end of travel, so it feels a bit dead until you really press. Switching between forward and reverse has a small delay, about a couple seconds. I understand why it's there, to protect the motors from sudden current spikes, but it does change how I approach tight back and forth moves around trees and fences. I adapted in a few sessions, yet it's a noticeable difference from a hydrostatic gas mower where you rock the pedal instantly. Steering is where I'm a little mixed. The turning radius is tight enough to get around beds without a lot of trimming, and the flat-bottom steering wheel is easy to hop around, but there's play in the wheel, a bit of slop before the front tires react, and you can hear the linkages clunk over bumps. It works, I can hold a line, and I finished nice stripes, though it takes more attention than I wanted. If you're coming from a premium Deere with rack and pinion steering, or a zero-turn with lap bars, you'll notice the difference in precision. Ride comfort is decent. The high back seat is supportive, and the armrests are actually useful on longer cuts. With no engine vibration, my hands and ears feel fresher afterward. The frame is stiff, and there's no real suspension beyond the seat springs, so rough patches do come through your back. I lowered tire pressure a touch within spec, which helped. About range, here's how it shook out for me. On a flat, maintained yard, dry grass, medium drive speed, and medium blade speed, I cut about 1.33 acres and had enough left to tidy the edges. On a heavier mow after rain, or when I used high blade speed for overgrowth, I was closer to 1 acre before the batteries dipped low. Ego's up to 1.5 acres claim is accurate in light to moderate conditions. The battery gauge is honest, but a bit non-linear. It seems to drop slower at the top and faster once I pass the halfway mark. I plan my route so I cover the far end first and come back toward the charger, which takes the anxiety out of it. Charging has been straightforward with the wall-mounted unit. I plug in at the front port and it balances the packs automatically. After a hot, heavy mow, the batteries are warm and the charger sometimes waits a bit until they cool. That can add a half hour before the real charging begins. Then it's roughly a few hours to fully top the 6.0 AH packs. For my routine, that's fine. If I ever need more runtime in a day, I swap in a couple of my 10 AH packs from other Ego tools and keep moving. The ecosystem angle is real. These batteries have value beyond the mower, and that's part of why I went this route. Build quality is a blend. The deck is stamped steel and cuts well, but it's not a heavy fabricated deck. I avoid rocks and stumps the same way I would with any stamped deck. The plastic body panels keep weight down and won't rust, yet the darker plastics scuff easily on low branches. In my opinion, storing it inside is worth it to keep the plastics looking decent and to keep the batteries out of constant sun. The motors and electronics feel robust, and having no belts on the deck is a relief. Maintenance has been almost nothing so far. Blades, tire pressure, a quick clean, and I'm done. No gas, no oil, No filters, no belt tensioning. Towing has been the pleasant surprise. I haul the cart piled with mulch and stone pavers, easily in the 500 to 600 pound range including the cart, and the tractor pulled smoothly at low speed. The battery barely moved when the blades were off, which makes sense since the deck motors are the big draw. I keep speeds conservative and mind downhill weight transfer, but as a yard mule, it's more capable than I expected. On slopes, I respect the 15-degree limit. Straight up and down on mild hills is fine. Across a side slope, once it gets too steep, I can feel the uphill wheel wanting to spin, and I back off. The open differential is predictable. Just don't push the angle. If you have a lawn with serious grades, I'd look at other options or break those areas out for a walk behind. A quick word on winter use. I tested pushing light snow after a dusting. The torque is instant, which actually makes traction tricky on ice, and battery range drops in cold. It works for a quick path if you're in a pinch, but I'll stick with a dedicated snowblower for real storms. It's perfect for a homeowner with up to about 1.5 acres of mostly flat yard, who wants quiet, low-maintenance mowing and the flexibility of a shared battery platform. The best part for me is how the whole experience feels less stressful. I can cut early without bothering neighbors, I can hear birds, and I end the job without smelling like gas. The downside is the steering precision and the plastic's tendency to scuff. I'd love a tighter steering rack and a bit more rugged bodywork in the next version. From my experience, the claim of gas-like power is real, the runtime depends on grass and habits, and the ownership feels simpler. I'd recommend this for anyone who values silence, easy upkeep, and already has or wants to build around the Ego battery lineup. If your property has steep hills or you demand dealer-style service and the heavy feel of a premium gas tractor, you might be happier staying traditional or moving to a zero-turn for speed. In my opinion, Ego nailed the powertrain and the convenience, and there's room to improve the chassis feel. In conclusion, I'm keeping it. It fits how I mow, it saves me time on maintenance, and I actually look forward to cutting now, which I didn't expect from a lawn tractor. I will post full information about the Ego Power Plus electric riding lawnmower in the comments section. See you in the following videos.